to use, uh-oh. Continue. All right, I'm going to stop sharing your screen, Georgelina, so that mine can go up. All right, so I thought we would start our day with just fun, silly questions of pixel art, since that's what we all do. So I'm going to kind of let you guys, can we unmute everybody at once and then mute them again? Is that something that can happen, Georgelina, or should we answer in the chat?
Let's do the chat so that I don't have to turn off and on the security features.
Okay, great. All right, so the first one is, what is it that brought all of us together today? I'm sure, and you're gonna have to tell me, Georgelina, when there's answers, because I can't see the chat at the moment.
Oh, they're going. Pixel art.
All right. All right. So I set this one to be a little different. I wanted the whole thing to go to the background color first. What Google app is used for pixel art in education?
Sheets, Excel. Sheets.
All right, the answer for this one is Sheets, since it says Google app, but you can do it in Excel also. All right, so list the first names of the moderators in alphabetical order. So teachers, can we do that?
Debbie.
All right.
Jorgelina and Julianne.
Now you do have to spell these right in order for it to work when you're using words, and that's kind of the tricky part. So sometimes when you're doing words with kids, you might choose to have a drop-down menu instead. All right, 2 of the moderators are from the US. Where does the third one live? What country?
Scotland.
Right. Doesn't matter if your capitalizations are right. It works whether it is the correct capitalization or not. The letters just have to be the same. All right, so who is it that lives in the country mentioned above?
Julianne.
Leanne. All
Hey,
right.
you guys did your homework.
Can anyone tell what the picture is going to be yet? I think it looks really goofy right now. All right, what other Facebook group did many of us come from? I know the 3 moderators kind of came from there together. So does anybody know?
A Bitmoji.
That's right, Bitmoji. All right, true or false? You can only use pixel art mysteries for math.
False.
Okay,
No.
when you're doing true and false questions, you have to use just T or F. If you put the word false in there, it thinks that you're doing a formula. So we just use T or F, or you could use yes and no questions. All right, true or false? High school kids think pixel art is dumb.
False. Yeah, I teach high school. They love it.
They love it, that's right. All right, so since Debbie makes most of the graphics for the group, can you guess what her favorite color is? This is a tricky one.
Ooh, pink, blue, blue, pink, red, blue, blue, red, pink. Has anyone hit it yet?
This one happens to be pink, but most of mine have a purple background because that is my favorite. So now you probably can guess what this is. The last question here, pixel art works because we change what? And it's 2 words. Does anybody know what it is we have to change in order to make it work?
Jane. She said conditional formatting first.
That's right.
Great job.
Formatting. All right. Now, of course, that was a little harder because you had to guess, but normally your kids would know the answers to that. So there you go. We have our little llama that I think is quite beautiful. And I will provide the link to that so that you guys could use it and change the questions and make it into something for your kids. So with that, how many people do we have in the room now?
99.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Julianne, who is going to show us how to modify a pixel art to use for your subject or your grade level.
Hi, everyone. Can you see? Am I sharing the screen now? Yeah? Okay, well, hello, I'm Julianne, and I'm the one from Scotland. Actually, I'm from Orkney, which is a set of tiny islands off the top of Scotland. There's 22,000 in the 70 islands, so quite small and quite rural, but beautiful. And it's actually 4 o'clock, well, 4:05 here, and it's now pitch black. So, but can I just say thank you to all of you who have got up so early. I've actually had the lucky deal here because I'm in the afternoon. Okay, I'm going to show you a few different ways of how to change the formatting. A lot of the pixel arts we do get are maths. So I'm going to first of all show you if you wanted, for example, this one is just kind of basic addition. If you want to change it to multiplication, I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to change it into fractions. And then I think the group do need more vocabulary. So I'll show you how to change it and have answers as text. Okay, if because I can't see the charts, if I'm going too fast, just put up and Georgelina will let me know. Okay. Right. So this has all been formatted. How I like to do it to change is to get rid of it all, and that's just highlighting and deleting. So I want to change this one from addition to multiplication. First of all, change the question. And then if you click on here, on my actual computer, the conditional formatting grid doesn't come up automatically. And if yours is the same, you go up to format, conditional formatting. Oh, I've got a bit of a problem because all your faces are over the conditional formatting. Let's see if I can. I don't know where to change your faces to. Do you know, Georgelina?
Go to the top and click on view, the top right, and change the view to standard.
Sorry, I might have to go back into not sharing the screen because all I've got is these. Wait 1 second. Oh, wait.
You can also move them out of the way.
Move them out of the way. Sorry. Oh, we are. Bye. Sorry. Right. So here we are. This one has got the typical formula equals $B $A = 10. For this, 5 times 5 obviously is 25. All you have to do is just change the end to how you would like it. And you have to press done. And then can you see there it's changed? So if I put in the original 10 that was there, it will not work. If I put in 25, there we are. So we go into the next one. So I press on the answer one, and you've got the formula there. Change it to times. Go to the formula. 8 times 6, 48. So you just change that. Click done. Press 48 in here. You can do it where, just quickly do the other ones for you. If you put the answer in first in there, and then it does come up automatically when you change it to 27. If I get any of these maths wrong, please tell me. 2 times 7. So actually, it's really, really simple to change a maths one from like addition to multiplication to subtraction, as you can see. And once you've, as I'm saying, subtraction, and once you've done it a few times, honestly, it gets so much easier and you do get quicker. Last 2. So click there, put the answer in, the conditional format's up there, change. Oh, I put the wrong answer in. And then 8 times 2. Win. 16. this has worked because these cells here are formatted as well. Why has that not worked? Oh, sorry, I haven't clicked out of the box. There we are. This has worked because these cells, the answer cells, are formatted. Sometimes they're not. For example, if I click onto here and just get rid of the format, you see, that's not got a format. Then the way to do it is to have this up and just click on one of the colours. So if you click on the red, that comes up. Or if I click on the purple, that's the one. Just click on the colours and look at this bit, and it shows you the column number and the cell. So you just go to B20 and you click it in there. Right, so that is just changing quite a simple addition to multiplication. If you want to, I'll just bring this back up again. If you wanted to do two fractions, you need, and I learnt this off Debbie today actually, because I didn't know how to do this till today. You go, can you see this 1, 2, 3? You need to change that because it's always on automatic to plain text. Then if you say 2/8 plus 3/8, if your actual numbers of text is larger, you can either just move it across here, or if you right click at the top and go to resize the column and to fit data, that means your cell will fit whatever data you put in. So for this one, it is the same procedure. Click on the answer. For the fractions, though, it has to go in quotation marks. So that would be 5/8 and quotation marks. So can you see the difference? And automatically, because I've changed the formula, that has now come out. So if I put 5/8, oh, why is it not worked? 5/8.
You have to change the number format.
But did I not just do that? Ah, it must have, I thought I'd clicked it, sorry. Yeah, so remember, plain text, sorry, I thought I'd clicked on it. So that's done, and then if I quickly do a couple more for you to see. 6, why did I do that? 3 and 6/10. Sorry, I'm on my laptop because I don't actually have a desktop. So, and then exactly the same. You go over here, put your answer in quotation. So that would be 9/10. Would you like me to do another of these, or? I've seen, sorry. What to do is highlight the whole of the ones you're changing to plain text. That's where the mistake is. Sorry, so if you change all of it, it will stop you having to go up there every single time you put an answer in. So I'll show you again, since I've just learned that little trick. So whereas before it wasn't doing it automatically and I had to go up, it should, fingers crossed, do it correctly. So quotation marks, 5/7, and then change it here. There we are. Georgelina, do you want me to carry on? Sorry, that's my son just come in. Do you want me to finish it off? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to share a link in the chat for everybody to open a document that I will work on next, so you can work on it with me.
2 times 5. Plus, then go over here. And can I say, guys, if there's any questions you've got when this has finished, if you suddenly think, oh, I wish I'd have asked such a question, you can always PM us and we will get back to you. And also this will be available on the Facebook. We're going to post it there, and as I'm speaking at the same time, and we have got some exciting news we're going to share later of where you can access it somewhere else. Sorry, my son is also asking me what time I want him back. Wait one, 5:30. Joys of Zooming and being a mum. Can you see why that hasn't worked? Can anyone say in the chat why they think that one hasn't worked? If you look at the formula.
No quotes. That's what they're saying in the
Yes, well done. Yeah.
All right, can everyone access the link that I shared now? I'm going to put it again just in case it didn't show up in your feed.
Debbie, do you mind sending that link to me on our Facebook chat so then I can share it with those that are on Facebook right now? We have 67 people watching there.
You got it.
Thank you.
Right, and then the last one. Go over here, quotation. 5/8. And then change answer. Okay, so there's how you change fractions. It's actually very, very similar if you want to change it from a maths into words, vocabulary, text. All you do then, it's the same procedure as the other two. And actually it's very, very similar to the fractions one. So for example, if I wanted, get rid of all that now. If I wanted to change, say Debbie's posted this up and I thought, oh, that'll be great for my first graders, which is actually primary 1 here. You change the words. So for example, if you wanted them to Dolch words, sight words. So if I put by, and you just want them to copy that word in, just do it in the question in there, then the copy here, go to there, and it is the same procedure as with fractions. text has to go in between speech marks for it to recognize it. But once you've really mastered one way, it's actually quite easy to do in other ways. And because I'm changing actually this from fractions, you can just change the bits in between as long as you've got the fractions on either side. And learning how to do this will open up so many possibilities for you, because there's so many people posting up great images and pixel arts, and you may not be able to use them because it's not actually what you teach or it's not your grade. Well, if you can learn how to do this, and I'm sure as I'm doing it, it is easier than you actually thought it would be, you can change for any subject, any grade. And like I said, a lot are for maths, but we are seeing more on other topics, which is great. And also, by doing this, if you see one that you really like, it's a lot quicker also than creating it from scratch. So if you've got, say, a lesson for the next day on verbs and there's no time to make one, have a look at images that you like and you will be able to change it. Okay, there we are. But please, if you think of something or you're unsure of something I did, please message later if something comes into your head, or ask us in the chat bar now. Okay, so thank you. Who am I handing back to now?
Georgelina, do you have anything to say about any questions?
No, there's a lot of questions about the drop down. So I don't know, Debbie, if you want to quickly show that.
I can do that.
I just told them it's a little bit more advanced and we weren't necessarily planning to do it, but it is in the FAQ. But if you want to show it, then they can have that question answered.
Okay. I will show them when I do this here. All right, I need to make my pictures go away. All right, can everyone see the screen? I posted a link to this file, a couple different ways. One is a forced copy, one is just a link to view, and then you would need to click on File, Make a Copy in order to see it. Lena, just let me know if there's something you want to interject, because I cannot see the chat at all right now.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, so what I wanted to do is show you a couple things on this. This is a pixel art made by Mimi Lopez, who is one of our fantastic contributors, and hers always look so beautiful and finished and like they were designed by a graphic designer. So I wanted to show you kind of what you can do with hers, because it looks like you can't really change it. First of all, before I do anything, you can see that I've filled in all of the answers, but the picture is not all appearing. This one right here, this cell did not change color. And I want to show you, I have the right answer in there, but what I did when I typed it was I accidentally typed a space after the word can. So if you ever have a student that is saying, I have the right answer, but it's not working, have them type it again, and chances are they won't put the space in that time, and it will work. So that's one of the troubleshooting things for if it doesn't work, check to make sure there's not a space before or after your answer. Now, I'm going to show you, I guess, since the questions were there, how to do a drop down. If you wanted to put options in this one, let's say we want to make a drop down. We would go up to data, and then down to data validation. When you click on that, you get a box that opens. We want it to show the dropdown in a cell, and we want to use a list of items. So let's put in here shall, will, can. I know those are not really options, but we're just doing this for to show you. So we're going to save this. And now you will see that I have a little drop down arrow, and it gives me the choices that I just typed in. Okay, now this, since it's already formatted to the word shall being the correct answer, that's when it will work. If I clicked on one of these other ones, then it's not gonna format properly. So it's very simple, actually. You just go to that data and then data validation. Now I want to remove this. Okay, I've done it and I don't like how it turned out, and so I'm going to take it off. Or maybe I found somebody who's has this drop down and I don't need them. All you do is you go in here and you just click remove validation, and that's it. It's gone. So it's really very simple to do that multiple choice. Okay, so now what I want to show you is how to change all of this.
Sorry to interrupt. That it was a little too fast. Can you go through it again just a little bit slower?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so if we want to change the answer to a multiple choice, we could go highlight the box that you're on, go to data, and then data validation. From here, you want to have this box checked, show drop-down list in a cell, and you want to do a list of items, which opens up a box here where you can enter all of the options, all of the multiple choice things, with just a comma separating them. Okay, you have your answers in there, and this box is checked. You just click on save. And now you see we have a drop down for this box. And when you click on the right answer, or I guess I'll show you when you click on the wrong answer, the cells that are associated with that in the conditional formatting have disappeared. It's no longer highlighted here in this box. So we'll go back to the correct answer, and the cell changes color and all of the conditional formatting is filled in. Okay, I'm going to show you where in that conditional formatting is. So this box is our answer up here, and see it, the answer is shall. I'm going to go ahead and change this to will. Okay, just like Julianne was showing us, you just change the answer within the quotes to what you want that answer to be. You have to click on done. Mimi actually put 2 different colors associated with that cell, and that's fine. You just have to change both of them. Okay, now I've changed both of the conditional formulas with this answer box. And when I change it to will, it changes color for me and the conditional formatting is filled in. Okay. Am I good on that, Georgelina? Is there any more questions?
No, it looks good.
Okay, so now I want to show you what I do if I want to change all of this. The very first thing I do is I go down to the sheet down here and I right click and I duplicate it, because I'm going to make mistakes and I might have to start over. And so if I duplicate it, I've always got my original back there. So now this is the one that I am going to work on. This is my working copy. Okay. And I love the picture and I want that to stay. That's the part of this that I want, but I'm not doing auxiliary verbs. And I want to use all of these answer boxes for something else. So I'm going to start with just deleting all of the stuff she has here. Now we have big boxes here, but they are simply cells that are merged together. To merge a cell in Sheets, you go to this little icon, and merge and unmerge are the same button. So I'm going to, since it's merged right now, I'm going to click on this and it will unmerge. And I now have all the individual cells back. Okay. And I'm going to do that with this one too, just so I can get my room and my the space back to use in a way that I want to. Now I can also take this box here off by just changing the lines. and I'm going to clear it. Okay, I'm going to do that again to this one. I'm going to unmerge it all. And then I'm going to go to the outlines and click on clear. Oh, and those are all filled with a little bit of color. So I also want to click on the fill bucket and reset. Okay, so now I have lots of space here. Okay, well, I don't really want all that space there. I want to move this up. So what can we do? We're going to highlight all of these and then right click. And I want to delete all these cells. And I want to shift everything up so that all of my answers, my questions and answers are at the top. When you do this, you will notice that all of the conditioning and the formulas came with it. So this cell, even though it used to be down here, is now formatted just like it was before. If you go in and look at the conditional formatting, it actually changed it from whatever row it was before, probably 22 or something way down there. And now it's saying that it's row 7. So when you do that, when you select all those and you delete them and move everything up, the formatting all comes with it. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I want to do something else here. I want to get rid of all her questions because I am not using any of these questions. I'm going to use math questions because it's the easiest thing to think of right away. I don't really need all these columns that she has. So I'm going to highlight these columns and I'm going to delete those. All right. Oh, I deleted more than I wanted. So I'm going to hit Control Z. Does everybody know about Control Z? It's the best thing ever. When you hit Control Z, it undoes whatever you just did. Let's delete that column. And we're going to delete this column. Okay. So now what I have go up to our menus at the top, insert, and column to the left. All right, now that column now has some of the formatting. You notice some of the formatting came with us?
Sorry.
Yes?
You froze for a few seconds.
Oh, no.
You got to, before you put any of the words in. So could you go back to that bit? I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but yeah, I think it's, you deleted the cells, so you only have the three columns left and then you froze.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, what I have here is my answers or my questions and my answer boxes. This answer box is actually 4 columns merged together. I don't really need all of those, but I don't really have to change them either. I can either delete them or I could change the size of all of them to make the boxes smaller. So that's one option. You can also delete columns out of there. Okay, either way, it works. You just want to come up with a place where you can put your question in. These columns, these boxes, I'm sorry, still have the answers in them from before. So they are still formatted. If I delete what's in there, my picture starts to disappear. That's okay. I actually have 2 rows of answers for this, but only place for one question. So I'm going to insert a column to the left. And what I get here is another place where I can enter answers, but it also somehow seems to be formatted with what was here. That's not a problem. All you do while you still have this column highlighted is go up to Format, and down at the bottom, it says Clear Formatting. This does not affect the formulas that are in these cells. It only affects the ones that are in this cell. So when I click Clear, all of that is gone. And I just have the answers out here that are still going to work. Okay. I may have to do a little reformatting. Everything in this column went back to being the single cells. So I'm going to merge these two together again so that it looks just like the one over here. Put some lines around it. Looks like she uses heavier lines. Okay. Now I'm not going to have to go through that process for each of them, because what I'm going to do is highlight that one, click on Control C, put my cursor here and hit Control V, which is for paste. Control or Command V. So I'm just going to go down this row and put all my new question boxes in place. Okay. So now I have the place for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like for 20 questions. Okay. And I don't have to do anything with the picture still. I'm just going to put in answers and questions. So I'm going to put a few questions in here. Okay. Now, a couple problems with this one. I have this data validation still on. So it's telling me this is not valid. It's not on the list. So I'm going to go to data and data validation. And I'm going to remove that validation. I don't want that on there anymore. I want my number to be 16. Okay, that's fine. That's the answer to my question, but it doesn't change my formatting, because I have to do just like what Julianne showed us, go to Format and then Conditional Formatting. And this box here, we need to change our formula to be the answer, which is 16. And I'm going to change this one also because I want all of the colors to be correct. Okay, so now when we fill this in, it works. Okay, I'm going to do a few more so the rest of our puzzle will come up. Now these are all on just whatever was standard. You can change the font size to be something bigger or a different font altogether if you want, whatever you want to do. And even in these, you can change the font and the colors. It doesn't have any bearing on what happens in the formulas. So I'm going to go in and change this formula to match the answer we now have. Change it in this color also. The next one, we'll change the word to the number. Now I'm taking the number out of the quotes. Someone else could maybe speak to whether you can leave the numbers in the quotes. I don't think you can.
You can leave the numbers in the quote, but if you change the format type to not be 1 to 3. So if you change it to plain text, and like you can still use numbers, but you would need quotes. So you can change it to plain text if you're planning to use numbers and words, and then just make sure everything is in quotes.
Okay, so since it's not on plain text, it's on automatic, it's reading this as a number, but I just told it that it's not a number by putting it in quotes. So since this is reading as automatic in the number format, I need to have it outside of quotes. Yeah. So I either need to do this and change it to just 36, or if I put 36 inside of quotes, I need to change the box to be plain text. Okay.
I just add, I think Debbie said it at the beginning with the true and false. It doesn't accept it because it's a formula. And just be aware that is certain words that even if you put in quotation marks, won't accept. I found period doesn't, because I did the end of punctuation and ended up having to put full stop in because it wouldn't accept period. And also the number 0, it doesn't like the number 0 as well. So if you're finding it's not actually working, just check what you've put in, because it could be it just doesn't accept. I'm not sure, would it accept 0 if we put it in quotation marks?
So yes, it will
Okay.
accept 0 if you put it inside of quotation marks. But you also have to change it to being plain text. Okay, if you leave it as a number, it doesn't understand that. So if you change it to plain text and you put the 0 in quotes, it will work. Okay, and as with changing all of this formatting to match what the original document was, you can also change it into plain. You can do whatever you want with it. If you were to click on this and go to clear formatting, all of this will disappear. So that's the only thing you cannot do. You cannot change the formatting on this without affecting all of the conditional formats. Okay, so you can clear these ones, but you can't clear the ones where your answers are. Okay. What kind of questions do we have? Lena, is there anything I can answer?
I think I've been answering all of them, but if anyone has one right now that they'd like Debbie to answer, you can ask and I'll read them out. It says, in a decimal work in automatic, or must it be in quotes and pixel text? You can answer that one, but I'm pretty sure it'll work in both because a decimal is a number. The only, for example, I do a lot for high school, like AP statistics and algebra 2. So there's a lot of like 0.5. So if you set it as plain text and they don't have a 0 in front of it, 0.5, sometimes it doesn't work. It has to be exact. But if you leave it as a number, it will work. But decimals can be a little bit tricky. You might have to play around with both to see which one it wants.
So for this one, I put it as just a number. There's no quotes in my formula, but I made sure that my answer cell was on automatic. So it's going to read it. And when I typed in, I just typed 0.5, but when I hit enter, it became 0.5. And that is,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Just Nikki's asking, she's taking notes and she says, where does she change it to plain text again? If you can show that real quick.
Absolutely. This little guy up here that says 1, 2, 3, this is your number formatting. And it'll be automatic plain text. And then there's all these other things too. Okay. So it really does not take that long. This one's a little more complicated to change. And remember, I had my original back here that I could always go back to and start over. So, don't be afraid to change things, but and especially if you duplicate first, and then you can do whatever you want. And then if it doesn't work out, start over. But for the most part, you just got to remember to keep your answer cells where they are, or when you move them by deleting whole rows or whole columns, because then the formatting all moves with it. Okay.
I'm going to answer Grit's question out loud because it's easier than to type. So she's saying, explain the difference between plain text and automatic. So automatic is when you're allowing Sheets to kind of determine what it is that you mean. So for automatic, Sheets is making the decision whether you have a word or a number. And sometimes that's okay. But at other times, if words is being funny, you do have to be specific and you have to tell them, this is plain text, this is a number. And again, if you're using plain text, you absolutely need those quotations. If you're using numbers, then you don't need the quotations in there because it's taking it as a number. But automatic is definitely faster. But it's like the same thing I tell my students. It's like a calculator and it's only as smart as you are. So sometimes you have to tell it specifically what you want because it's just kind of guessing when it's set to automatic.
I want to show you what I just typed in there to show you that there's a couple other things you can do with your numbers. This is a division problem. Actually, I want to make it so there's a remainder. So I should do 48 divided by 7. A lot of people are probably wondering, how do you type the division sign? I just learned this and I was so excited about it. So I'm going to show you. If your computer has a number pad on the side, this is the only way that it works. So if you don't have the number pad, it's not going to work for you. But you press the Alt key and then you type 0247 and let off of the Alt key, and you have your division sign. So I'll say that again, Alt key, and then on the number pad 0247. And when you release from the Alt key, you'll have your division sign. So the answer to this would be 6 remainder 6. Is that correct? 42. Yep. So in order to put this in your answer, because we've got that letter in the middle of it to indicate remainder, it is going to require that the number format be plain text. And our conditional formatting, we would need to keep our answer inside of the quotes. 6 space R6 and close the quotes. Now the space in there is important. So you're going to have to teach your students how to write it. If you're doing a division problem with remainders, you're going to have to teach them whether, and you can do it however you like. If you want the space there or no space there, or if you want a space after the R, however you want to format it, you just have to tell them in the directions that this is how you need to type it in there. Any questions on that?
We just had one question. Can you do a fractional remainder? I did just respond that as long as you tell them in the instructions how you want it typed. It's kind of like the opportunities are endless if you give a little bit further instruction. So it really depends on your class.
Right. And if you wanted to put your problem in there, like especially for a long division problem, you know, most of the time they're written on a worksheet with the number inside of the bracket. You know, you're at least in let me see if I can find one real quick. And you can't copy and paste that into your thing unless you save it as a picture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it quick. I'll see while we're answering other questions if I can find that for you all to show you how to put a division problem in there in a different way. Lena, do you want to talk about how to share the links to these?
With students?
Yes.
Sure. I will. Do you want to share? Actually, I'll just share one of mine because I didn't copy so that I can chat around because I am chatting in Facebook as well. So I'm answering questions on Facebook. So are you not able to include these in answers? That's a question on Facebook. You mentioned periods, decimals. So are you not able to include these in answers? And I think you did answer that. We are able to include them as long as you put them in quotations. Can you show us how to insert pictures? Sure, I'll do that one next. So I'm actually going to start with a sneak preview of what we're going to do next, because I think that'll be fitting for sharing that link. Let me just share my screen. I'm back to our original here because I never changed this out. So hopefully everyone can see this. This is just a sneak peek of what we're going to do next in the group. So Sheets is super powerful if you are comfortable with using formulas. This is what we're going to be showing you next. This is a color by numbers. And as long as students are entering the correct answers, the picture will start coloring itself in. So if you see the colors changing, so if I put, here's 2 right here. So if I put a 2 here, then all the 2's colored in. If I put a 3 in, then all the 3's colored in. So that's what we're going to do next. These are a little bit easier to create once you have a base and to change around. So we'll do that on our next video. We are planning to do that together. To share a link now. So this is, if I were to share this one out, I would go to this little green box here. The first thing to notice here is that there's a lock. When you have a lock, that means it's private only to you. And even if you were to share this out, so if I were to click here and I were to share this out, this is restricted. So this is my school account. So right now, only people in my district can actually view this. So a lot of the times this is okay if your students are within your district and they all have a student account. So you do want to change this. I just clicked once again. So just to go back share, and I click here on change. So it says get link. You want to change this. And the safest way to make sure that everyone has access to it, you want to drop down and go to anyone with this link. It's really, really important that you leave this to viewer. If you change this, or if for whatever reason it changed to editor, that means that anyone that gets this link can change your original, and you don't want that, right? You want to protect your original. So you want to go to make sure that that's on viewer. So even if they do happen to not make a copy and they access yours, they can't change it, right? So some people know how to mess with the links and just go back if they want to preview and not necessarily make a copy of it. So you want to make sure you're always, absolutely always protecting your original, so that then you don't go back and it's completely different than what you wanted to. It does not force a copy yet. So now if we wanted to force a copy, you can just click on copy link. And then I'm just going to go to, if you guys are interested, this is my pasting guide that I was working on today. So you would paste it wherever you are going to paste. Let me make this really large, the font size. Why is it? This is a very bad sheet to copy this into. Let's just put it somewhere where you can see it. New document. So I'm going to paste it here. So here's a link that I just pasted from the one that I would be sharing. You want to delete everything up until where it says edit, that little slash. You want to delete that and then just type in copy. This is the link you want to share. With a copy, that will force them to make a copy. Okay, if you are using Google Classroom, you don't even have to bother with that. Google Classroom does do them automatically. I think they're, I don't use Schoology, so I'm not sure if Schoology is the same. But if you see my little icons right here, you can also use, you can also do it on Canvas. Well, it will create a copy for them automatically. Let me see if I have my Google Classroom still set up. Classroom. I don't know why it's not, I haven't used it in so long, so it's not remembering.
So someone is asking a question right now about Google Classroom. You do not have to do the forced copy link for the students if you are making an assignment in Google Classroom. Right. You just have to have the link as a viewer, and you go and you make an assignment. Now, if you're posting it in a stream, it's not going to work. You have to make an assignment, and then you will have the option to make a copy for each student.
Yeah, so I'll show you that here. If you use Google Classroom, this is the one from last year. I no longer use it. But if you wanted to create an assignment, you would just go to create. I'm on classwork here. You want to create an assignment. You want to make sure it's an assignment, not a quiz question material. It has to be an assignment. And you have to do this the first time. So you can't go back and edit an assignment and do this. It has to be your original one. So then you would just title it something else. When you go to add here, you want to go either, you can use a link. So I'll use a link because I already have it copied, but you can also access your Google Drive directly. So I'm going to go to link, and I'm going to paste that link that I had copied earlier. Notice how it still has that edit in there. It doesn't show copy. I don't have to change that. It's just directly copied from there. I would add link. And then now right here is what you need to change. So right now it says students can view file. You want to drop down here and go to make a copy for each student. That's it. Then once you change all this, you can, I don't want to actually assign it because I don't know how many students can still see this. And I don't want my last year students to freak out. My seniors that already graduated, all of a sudden they have a new assignment. So then you would just go to assign, and it would assign it to all of them. Each individual student would have their own copy, and they're not messing with yours. When you go into the gradebook, you'll be able to see each of their attempts. So that, I don't know if you have any other questions on that. When I create an assignment on Canvas, they are able to access it and do it, but they submit the assignment. It only shows part of the sheet and it's jumbled up. So on it's hard to show Canvas because the student view doesn't really help. And I don't want to share my students' names out for everyone, just for security. But the way that I assign them on Canvas is that I use the Google LTI 3.1. I know that when I've tried using the other ones, the external tools, it works funky, but every time that I use the 3.1, it's fine. So I don't know if maybe you're using a different external. I know Google has a couple different external tools you can use. Can you schedule? Yes, you can definitely schedule in advance. That's how I lived the whole last year when we went virtual. You can schedule anything on Google Classroom for advance, but as long as you're setting those settings in originally, right? So you can't go back, if you've already created the assignment, you can't go back in there and change it. It won't allow you to make a copy for each student.
To answer the question about if you give people the ability to view and not edit, if you're forcing a copy, then they will make their own copy and they can edit it. If you just give them the link to view, they will only be able to view and they won't be able to do the activity. So to be clear, when you do that in Google Classroom and they all get their own copy, that's fine. Then they'll be able to edit that. But if you are sharing a link with them, you have to force the copy. If you just give them a view link, they will only be able to view, not do the activity.
Yeah. And the only thing is when you force a copy on them without creating an assignment with whatever tool you're using, Schoology, Canvas, whatever like that, if you are forcing a copy, they do have to then go in and submit it to you, right? Obviously, when they finish it, they need to know how to either create a picture of that or submit however you want them to submit that link back to you. If you create the assignment on Google Classroom like this, and they each get a copy of it, all they have to do is hit that submit button and you'll get it. So this is easier on students when you create it using whatever software you have. But sometimes we don't all have that option, right? Like if you don't use Google Classroom, if you use Canvas and you don't have access to external tools, then you do need to force that copy on them in order for them to be able to edit it. And then just think of an alternative method to have them submit it back to you when they complete it. Will you be showing us the best way to make your own conditional formatting on our own image or on an unformatted image? I think that's what Julianne was showing in the beginning.
No, she means on your own image. Like that's not formatted yet at all. And we are not going to show that today only because it would probably be another hour-long presentation. So we wanted to just do this as the basics and not overwhelm people. So we're going to do another session where we will teach you to start from scratch, where you make an image and then format the image yourself. It's not hard, but it is more complicated, and you want to kind of master how to modify one before you take on the next step. And we are planning to do that the week after Christmas. We kind of feel like all of us so dedicated and still here, we should go on break. We should all take a break right now and enjoy our Christmas. And then we will do some more of these that are more complicated. And, you know, I just saw somebody ask about hiding the formulas. That's another thing that we will be happy to show you, but it's kind of, we don't want to overwhelm people and go forever today. I do want to show one thing because it was asked way back when I was presenting, so I'm going to just do it real quick, which is how to share or how to insert a picture. And you might want to do that. You can really only do that for, the question, not the answer. So like if I had a division problem that I wanted to put in here, I went to and found a worksheet that I wanted to use, and I want to grab a picture of just that one problem. You may or may not know this, but if you click on the Windows key and Shift and then S, Windows, Shift, and S, it will allow you to grab a little picture. And it copied that to my clipboard so that I can go right back into my sheet. And I'm going to click the box where I want it to go. And I'm going to paste it right there with a Control V. Now, why didn't it show up there? Uh-oh, Tried to show you something and it didn't work.
Yeah, I'd say do the insert in the image.
There we go. Yeah, but when you copy and paste, you shouldn't have to do that. All right, well, that was a bust. I don't know why it's not showing. I will have to show you that next time.
Could I just share our other exciting news that we are launching, hopefully today, and it will have this webinar on it. We've actually created our Pixel4educuation YouTube channel, which we're going to post up any of the videos that we do. We'll be posting up webinars, and we will be sharing the link hopefully later when I can get this webinar put on. So if there's anything in particular you would like to know about, we can create a video and put it up there before the next webinar. Okay, so please just let us know. Either all of us are quite fine, I'm sure you are, with PMing us with any questions, or if you've got a specific video, or put it on Facebook. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be launching our YouTube channel, which is very exciting.
Yes, and I do want to definitely we'll do the color by numbers and the puzzle one that I know many of you have already seen. It's a little bit different than pixel art, but it is something you can do with sheets. I also want, before you all leave, I want to show you where to access our FAQ because it is in there already. So a lot of these questions have been answered there. And if you can't wait for the next one and you want to work this week, I don't know why you would, but if you wanted to work this week and you want to get some work done for your kiddos, this is our Facebook group. It's pinned to the top if you're on your cell phone, but if you're on the computer, you can go to the announcements tab and scroll down and you'll see our, maybe we can pin it to the top again, which I will. So it's this one here. It says frequently asked questions. If you click on that, you will see a just a list of our frequently asked questions on there. You can get to know us a little bit more if you wanted to see maybe around the area where we teach, what we specialize, all that stuff. There's also links to our Buy Me a Coffee. If our work helps us, that would be appreciated. You definitely don't have to, but those are in there as well, our little coffee mugs. But if you click on any of these just with your next buttons, then you can see a list of the answers to each of these. So for example, how do I find a certain type of pixel art in the Facebook group? How do I make a pixel activity from scratch? So that was asked in here a little bit. So how do you get started if you don't have any formatting? So let's say you click on that, then you can have written instructions that were created by Debbie, or you can watch the video that I created back in March where it shows you how to start completely from scratch. If you fast forward a little and you don't want to know how to create the pixel art because you have one that's unformatted, you can use that video to actually format one that you already have. You just fast forward that. So all of that is already in there, right? You can pause and go at your own pace. So that is all in here already. So if you don't want to wait for the next webinar, or if you're afraid maybe you won't get a spot because we can only have 100 at a time, this is a great resource that's already there.
Okay, I think we should probably close. I saw a couple people post that they still have school this next week, which is so sad. I'm so sorry for you. I hope your days go quickly and your kids aren't peeling from the ceiling like mine were yesterday. So have a great Christmas, everyone, and we'll be around and we'll see you again after the holiday.
Happy Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy Christmas. They sign off as quickly as our kids do. I'm just like, takes forever to get them in, but when the class is over, they're like, bye.
Bye-bye.
I also think the Facebook Live went great. The only thing I'm not sure of is if it saved it, but at least we have the recording. I'm actually going to stop recording.
Oh, no.
Okay.